it wouldn't be a show without some Shillzilla.
A shill for sure.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
Aliens. Yep. Aliens. Aliens.
Sorry, didn't mean to step on you, but hey, this is a combo.
Okay. No, I didn't know that there was a combo. That's great. Yeah, Chris Shillzilla, folks. It's been a while since we've done a Chris Shillzilla story, but I don't know. I don't know how much of a rundown. If you're new to the show, you'll quickly learn to love Chris Shillzilla. He is sort of the underdog over there at CNN. He's a conspiracy theorist about Trump and Republicans. He's sort of relegated to his YouTube show. They don't really let him in the building or in the studio of real CNN, but he gets to do the YouTube stuff. And, you know, he's working real hard. He's working hard. And we're almost positive that at least someone in his orbit watches the show or listens to this show, because sometimes there are things that he says and does that are way too close to comments we've made about him.
Too close.
Or whatever. So today, we got a Chris Shillzilla little clip off here. UFO. This is from a clip of his show, The Point, on YouTube, which is titled "UFOs Are Becoming a Much Bigger Priority for Congress." Ooh.
Which I think is funny because this is also still under CNN politics, and I can picture the conversation with Chris in an office meeting with his bosses, and with all the changes taking place, and they're like, Chris, you don't know if we have any room for you on the big stage. Things are changing.
It's not getting called up to the big show quite yet.
Yeah, we're making some changes here. So in the meantime, we do need somebody to cover some of the more edgy stuff, the fringy stuff. So
especially because they're trying to back away.
Yeah.
From the Trump conspiracy stuff with the new ownership of CNN.
Right. So I can picture that. And then him going into his basement and coming up with this.
1 month until my book is due. I'm not stressed out. Earlier this month, the U.S. House did something very interesting. They passed, as part of a much broader bill, a provision that would encourage more sharing of reports of sightings and encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena, aka UFOs. The measure also offered total amnesty to any past or current military member who offers up information about UAPs, that's unidentified aerial phenomenon. That's what we call them now, UAPs. And the measure and the larger bill now heads to the Senate, which has to approve it before President Joe Biden can sign it into law. So nothing's done just yet. I've learned that lesson over the years. But the House's decision to make the reporting of UAP sightings much easier and much less stigmatized is the latest in a series of moves that suggest that Congress is finally taking the issue of crafts of unknown origins more seriously.
I never thought, Basil, that we would be at a place in the world where CNN's Shillzilla is reporting on the UFO investigation.
The same stuff that we do.
Yeah. Now, it's one thing to just say sort of a similar thing as we've been saying with some similar talking points. It's a whole nother thing when you get visuals and other elements involved.
Last summer, the U.S. intelligence community issued an unclassified report to Congress on UAPs that had a number of eye-popping revelations.
A number of what?
Hey! Eye-popping revelations. And for those who are just listening, those little pops, that's Chris Shillzilla getting on my brand. He's stepping on my brand. He's Adam Carolla-ing me. I'm getting Adam Carolla by Chris Shillzilla.
The second pop noise, when he says the UAPs had a number of eye-popping revelations, he actually, does the pop over his eyes, and then in the graphics on the video, he put two giant googly eyes.
He's taking my googly eye shtick, man. What is going on? I'm going to start suing. I'm going to start suing all of these guys. Adam Carolla, I'm coming for you. Flippy Update's mine. Chris Shillzilla, I'm coming for you. The googly eyes are mine, baby. I don't know. I know there's another one, but I can't remember right now. I'm going to get my lawyers on it. If there's any lawyers, entertainment lawyers specifically,
you can
maybe trademark lawyers. I don't even know what kind of lawyer.
But you got it.
I need a constitutional lawyer is what I need.
You need a you gotta file, what is it called, a DCA against them, a digital copyright
order.
Yeah,
bro. What is this seriously though? What is going on? Are we just so far ahead? There's three options. We're just so far ahead and so in tune with everything, not just news, but also like culture, where we just naturally do the things that everybody starts doing, a year or two after us, 2 years, sometimes even longer, 5 years, 6 years for Adam Carolla and Flippy Update. Either we're so like we are the barometer of culture, we're like God's thermometer, where you see the temperature rising and you see it with us before you feel it. Or these guys are straight up jacking my steez.
DMCA, thank you, Brother G.
I don't even remember what the third option was. I think I said there was three things.
You did.
Dude, I do not know what's going on, though. It's freaking me out, honestly. And can they please just send us a check? Chris, just produce the show, man. Adam Carolla, you can steal all of our stuff if you want. But, produce the show at least.
Well, if you want, I do have some actual substance from Shillzilla's little UFO thing here. It's 5 minutes long. I chopped it all down here, obviously, for some highlights. I couldn't believe it. I almost fell out of my chair when I saw him do the eye-popping revelations with his little googly eyes. Unbelievable.
Well, and it's not even like, Chris, this is, of course, perfect. Chris, somebody over there with Chris. Come on.
Maybe
You're
his
not
video
hiding
editor.
it anymore. Send us an email. Yeah, it might be the editor. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody's sending him little clips. I don't know what the deal is, but he's definitely aware. And not because we're so cool, but we are the number one outlet on the internet specifically reporting. We have a whole segment based on Chris Shillzilla. And I'm telling you, if somebody out there had like the Basil update or something and was reporting on me weekly, yeah, I'd keep an eye on it for sure. So for sure, he or somebody in his orbit is like,
well, we'll have to see,
because up to date with
because
us.
If Chris is watching, then we'll start having communications right through the show. So if he is because this is one of those things where he will look for it. Like he'll be like, oh, I wonder if these guys will cover
or
this.
Whoever's keeping an eye on it for him,
right?
Yeah.
So we'll definitely.
Well, I don't know. Should we? How do we do it? What do we do?
I don't know because
should we suggest something?
Maybe, but the thing is, I think that would be too obvious. If they do answer to some of our requests, it'll be too obvious. There has to be
plausible deniability. For them.
Right. So they have to lift things or themes or something that already exists in our milieu.
The problem is this means that we're going to have to watch his show a lot.
He's smart.
And I don't want to do that.
He's smart. He knows his audience.
He knows if he can get me hooked on looking for secret nods that I'll actually watch the show. I don't know if that's going to work.
If he starts talking about Nephilim, I'm just going to walk away. I'm done. I'm done. If he writes an article about Nephilim, I will take a show off.
You know what? I do watch his Twitter. Like I do see his Twitter every day. So if he's going to send us a message, he has to lure me in with his Twitter first, and then I'll find whatever it is.
Haven't you reply tweeted on his tweets?
Yeah, he actually.
So he's aware. He's got to be aware of you on Twitter, at least. Maybe not.
But I might just be a strange Twitter idiot to him.
Sure.
I've given him more. There's only one other user on Twitter that has given more attention to Chris, and that is an account called Chris Shillzilla's editor, and it's a bot. It's a bot that somebody made to all it does.
Poor guy.
All it does. It's a bot, and this bot only has 25 followers, but it's a bot somebody made that quote tweets every single tweet that Chris Shillzilla tweets and replies with, "Great take. You should write a listicle about it."
Oh my gosh.
It is so funny.
That thing's probably 5 years old.
Yeah,
Are people
it's
still
very
doing
old.
listicles?
I'm sure it's very old. Yeah. And it's, it's of course making fun of Chris as how he's just like relegated to the internet. He's not allowed to be on real CNN. Yeah. He's just like CNN's internet goofball, which look, I throw a lot of shade at Chris, but you know what? He's got his hustle. That's cool, man. You do you. But yeah, besides this bot, I probably am the most consistent person that Chris gets responses from.
Real human. Watching and keeping track.
It's very possible. Okay, all right. So I think the Nephilim thing, I will lose my mind if Chris
starts talking about the Nephilim.
Even if there's just one. Oh, look, there's another one. Chris Shillzilla generator, designed to point out that a randomly generated string of words makes more sense than Chris Shillzilla. Oh, this is different though. This doesn't interact with him. It's just like a generator. That's very funny. Okay, so I will lose my mind if Chris Shillzilla posts something mentioning the Nephilim, but I will keep an eye out on his Twitter. If whoever is over there helping Chris, if you need to send a message, I'll be looking out for it. I'm not going to watch every episode of The Point, though.
Well,
you need to put some effort into getting my attention.
Yeah, so I have this clip here just to kind of see the actual work he's doing. He quotes Harry Reid. He has videos spliced in. And actually, the quote that he shows here is very interesting in the context of everything happening. So let's just play it here.
Reid defended the $22 million he had earmarked for AATIP over his time in the Senate, telling Nevada Newsmakers, which is a show in the state, this about studying UAPs.
You know that China's doing it. We know that Russia, which is led by someone who was head of the KGB, they're doing it. And so we better take a look at it too. We got a volume of research that was done and said, put it out to bid, and $22 million worth of research. And it was very interesting because it showed that not 2 people, 4 people, 6 people, 20 people, but hundreds and hundreds of people have seen these things, sometimes all at the same time.
Earlier that same year, Reid was blunt about his interest on Nevada Public Radio.
I personally don't know if there exists little green men other places. I kind of doubt that, but I do believe that the information we have indicates that we should do a lot more study.
Reid died in late 2021 before he could see the rest of Congress take action on the mystery and potential threat these UAPs represent. But Congress has clearly woken up to the fact that UAPs aren't really about aliens necessarily, but more about the national security threat posed by objects flying in our airspace that we can neither identify nor explain, which is progress. And that is the point.
There you go. That's the point.
That is the point.
Which is a point we've been making for about 10 years. The whole phenomenon, you got to parse out the phenomenon, that you got your alien abduction phenomenon, you have your visual sightings of UFOs. I know that it kind of falls into the same category of paranormal and all that kind of stuff, but it is different. And Chris Shillzilla makes it his final point.
He gets it. That's the point. And that's the point.
That's the point. And it makes the Harry Reid clip is interesting because, he talks about it. This is back in 2019. He's saying, hey, China's been doing it. Russia's doing it. So we better do it. We better get on it. So I found that interesting as well, because it's like, okay, there's some urgency for governments to start addressing this issue.
Right.
And I think it's all part of the cover up, to be honest, because to me, this is all military or breakaway civilization, military industrial complex type of stuff. That's really advanced. But in any case, there you go. There's our little Shillzilla update. He's apparently a UFO guy now. His new beat is UFO, and it's a matter of time before he mentions the Nephilim as part of his report.
You know,
Speaking
maybe
of Nephilim,
it had been a while since we had done a Chris Shillzilla report.
Oh yeah, maybe he.
So I'm thinking maybe they did this just to get back on the show.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe
They're
that's
like,
possible.
Hey.
My number one fans aren't talking about me anymore.
Yeah, he knew what he
Better
had to
give
do.
him what they want.